Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're looking at Sam Vecini's 2024 mock draft. He has Zachary Ret as the number one guy, and that's fine. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below before we do this, but basically, yeah, we're going to go through this. And for me, the biggest thing is when we look at how the draft cycle is going, I still think from a NBA body or just prospect size, Alex Sarr is like, and Alex Sarr and our man, also Keyshawn George is flying off the board. But both KU players and Miami players are coming on, and I went to KU for undergrad and Miami now for my master's. But Zachary Ret, I've seen someone a great comparison is he's basically Michael Porter Jr. with less shot creation and without the back injury. He's averaging right now, 11.5 points, shooting 50% from the field, 45 from three. He's got decent rebounding rate. He can guard multiple positions. He can attack off the ball. And he's really good at point of attack defender. He's a good team defender. Again, he can guard 2 through 4, and he's very solid. So for me, the thing is with him, he's that combo forward, can play the 3 or the 4 very comfortably, but he really lacks that shot creation. And Sam Vecini says you don't see that shot creation that like Brandon Miller has, the poise, the ability to just make something out of nothing. He doesn't have that, and that's why I think he's kind of like a guy who easily could be a solid 3-point shooter with good rebounding ability for a team. I think the biggest potential guy here is still Alex Sarr. He's playing against, Keanu Pender is so good. I think he should be in the NBA personally. But this is a guy who can defend ball screens, switch onto guards. He can, play really well off ball. He'll contest every shot or block it. He's playing off the bench, averaging just under 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1.5 blocks in 17 minutes, 52% from the field, and attempting 2 threes a game. He's going to be a top 5 pick. Problem is he a 4 or 5? Okay, sometimes he could be maybe a poor. Obviously, he has a physical frame that reminds you of a young Kevin Garnett. Obviously, he doesn't have potential like that, but he has the potential to be a power forward like Jaren Jackson Jr., which would mean he'd have to play with a more physical 5, as he is not a good defensive rebounder. Now, is he going to be someone who can be a floor spacer, or is he going to be more like Evan Mobley? There's some of that Evan Mobley, Jaren Jackson Jr. in his game. It's just offensively, can he be a floor spacer, or will he need a floor spacing rebounding big next to him? And he's also shown some ball handling ability. I really like him. And Nikola Topic, he got hurt, but this guy was putting up damage. 19 points, 7 assists, shooting 53% from the field, and he is so good at passing. I literally have seen people say he's like the white shake, Ilshis Alexander, and he lives in the paint, either driving, kicking, or scoring. He knows how to use, a bunch of below the rim moves to get around, the trees. And the biggest thing is he can hit his free throws, but is he going to be able to be consistent enough from deep? And if not, he's going to be that really is if he's I don't think the athleticism is a question. I think the shooting's the swing kill, because then that depends how it'll be defended. But yeah, I think he's a top 3 guy too. Love Cody Williams. He fits the NBA mold of guy who can pressure the rim, pass, potentially defend, 1 through 4, 6'8", long arms, fits that to a T, can attack in transition, can slash from the wing in a straight line, can get downhill. He's averaging 14 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists, while shooting 59% from the field and 47% from 3. The shot's questionable, but he doesn't have that creation ability that his brother has, and he might be more of a role player. This class is just filled with role players, and that's the big problem right here, is that it's primarily a role player draft. Now, Stephen Castle right here is a guy that has climbed up into the top 5, and he's just 6'6". He originally was playing like guard, but he's now switches between 1 and 3. He's more of a secondary ball handler, but he's putting up 12 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists in his last 12 games, and he's just shooting really well. So I think he's more of a 2-3. Ron Holland, he's been compared to Gerald Wallace, and he's really good at defense. He can rebound. He's putting up 19.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. It's just that he's more of I would say, a defensive, maestro with energy, and I think he'd be like a 3rd option on a good team. I think I'm not a fan of Buzelis. Like, personally, this is earlier than where I agree. I wouldn't even take him. I think scouts are positive on him, but he's averaging 13 points with a negative assist to turnover ratio, and his true shooting is below league average. I just personally think that people think that he's Franz Wagner, and he's not. Like, I personally think, and no offense to them, that he's just a better, more athletic Joe Ingles. He's really good at like defense, I will say. And he's good off ball. I just don't know what he is. No offense to him. He hasn't shown much, but in the open court, he can attack and use his ball handling ability. I just don't know. I don't know with him. I love Jacoby Walters though. This guy, he's having a bit of a down year, but he's 6'5". He's an absolute animal. All right, and I think he's good. He's coming from Baylor, so he should have good fundamentals. Kyle Filipowski is kind of being called the white, bigger version of Naz Reid. And I really could see that as his three-point shooting, floor spacing guy who can go off the bench and rebound. Dalton Etches, went from being a JUCO guy to absolute shooter, three-point guy. He's going to, when you have the ability to shoot like he does, and we're late, I really think there's a place for him. Like, sometimes he does kind of look like Bojan Bogdanovic out there, like with more athleticism. Reed Shepherd, though, some people are saying that he reminds them of Klay Thompson out here and that he could legit be a real guy. He's averaging 12 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and suppose he's just a, dog on offense, and on defense, he goes for it. Tijane Saloon, I hope I said that correctly, another combo forward, putting up 9.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, really solid, got a great NBA body at 6'9". Kind of reminds me of the, the Rui Hachimura frame that people love and covet so much. So just more trying to see if he can get more aggressive and seeing like how young he is, if he can, have a more clear skill. I need to watch more film on him, I'll admit. Johnny Furphy, as a KU fan, I like him and I hope he stays another year, but at 6'9" with legit athleticism, he can play the 2, the 3, and even the 4 in the future with, rebounding, and his ability to look at the floor. Comes from Australia, so, he's got a good background. I'm a fan of his. I really do like him. Rob Dillingham, he's kind of like the combo guard, the Tyrese Maxey, the Emmanuel Quickley of this draft class. And, undersized 2 guard with some point guard-like skills that I think people would like to have. So if he can fall down to a team that somebody could get him, I wouldn't be surprised. But for me, it's more about depending on how him and like Isaiah Collier and Jacoby Walter are the guys going to watch. That depending on how they finish the season will depend on that. Collier was good to start the year, but he's getting the turnover problem under control. But he's definitely interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but some people like him 6'5", that they think 7-foot wingspan. His range is pretty high. I go to UAB and Keyshawn George, Jim Langernagel has just been putting him out there, and this fits the Orlando Magic. He's a Swiss player, but his depth's American, and he's a guy who's shooting 40% from 3 from distance, averaging 9.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and he's just a body, dude. His body moves well. He has no relations to Keontae, and I think he could be a kind of use like a Trey Murphy type guy. Yves Messi, 7 foot with 7'5" wingspan, basically Clint Capella, rebounding, shot blocking big that everybody covets. Donovan King is kind of like Jakob Poeltl for me, 2.0. Jared McCain, another one of those, undersized 3-point shooting, and I like they're coming in. Seth Curry, another one. I think like he's a good player. I don't know. Seth Curry's his floor, maybe best case scenario. He's kind of like a Colin Sexton. Ryan Dunn's just the best defender in this class. He's an absolute defensive dog, like the Herb Jones potentially of this class. Jalen Tyson is a guy that I need to watch more film, but he's been climbing up the board because of his body and his just like all-around game. Devin Carter's another guy who's got a really good game, and he's the son of an NBA player, so that's always going to carry weight. Tyler Kolek with, Marquette, he's literally carrying a bad team. Bobby Clement went to the Kansas Tapens, and he's, looking like he could be. I think they're comparing him to Rui Hachimura, but I think he's more of like this pterodactyl kind of do everything guy who could be maybe I think his floor is kind of like a Pat Williams, but his ceiling's whatever we thought Pat was going to be. Deron Holmes is literally Nick Claxton with the 3-point shot now. It's insane. And I've heard about this guy, Ulrich Comanche, and supposedly he's freaking fluid as hell. Watch his name. Now, Tyler Smith, I think he's a better moving John Collins. I really like his game. He's got some nice bounce to him. His 3 shot well. Hunter Salas is literally Wake Forest's offense and has been killing it for them this year. He's got a good game. Kind of reminds me of like Elijah Hughes when he came out of Syracuse. Trey Alexander, just, those 6'4" shooting guards, kind of like along the lines of like So many of them before. And Zach AD's going to get picked up because of this size and when he's able to move and how he can do that. Tristan DeCilia's the name to watch. DJ Wagner. I'm not a huge Ozu fan. Kevin McCullough is great. Ethan Almanza's awesome. Hassan Yang is a great name to keep an eye out for. AJ Johnson's starting to play better. Melvin Ajinka's the cousin or nephew of Alexis. And any other names that I see, no one too crazy. Malik Lewis is a guy to keep an eye out for. I really like him, but yeah, that's going to be it from us. Let me hear your thoughts down below. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Peace.